Women shaping the future of cinema from script to screen. ఈ టాపిక్ మీద I would like to first ask Sunitha garu. Sunitha garu, you've backed strong content-driven cinema with women at the center. How do you balance creative conviction and commercial realities?
My goodness, first time you were asking the toughest at the beginning. When I look at a story, I look at the story. I don't honestly look at is there a woman or is there a, male. For me, story has played an important role, and I strongly felt, having educated in the West and coming to India, sorry to say, we don't give importance to story. We give importance to the male character. Our stories are designed and tailor-made to the male character, which makes it very difficult to tell a story from a woman's point of view. As a matter of fact, there are so many tests out there that you make for the script, which is called the flower pot test, which means, is a woman character speaking for herself or is she speaking about the hero? So majority of the Indian films fail that test. Means when a woman speaks, she'll talk about, Abba, I love this hero, I just want to be so much in love with him. Oh, I want to be married to him and have his kids. Now I want to take care of the kids. It's never about what she wants. So there are these tests which we have for almost half a decade failed. So yes, it is tough to choose stories, and it takes not one person, a whole village to do. And my journey has been to make the village so that at least the village will continue to tell the stories of the women.
Fantastic. And here is a small village too, together. Lovely. Bandi. So I'll ask Nikhila garu, my next question, that from academic lens, how are women redefining cinematic language and the gaze in the contemporary Indian cinema? How is it? How do you think it is?
Thank you very much, first of all, for having me on this panel. You're all people from the industry, and I am a little distant teaching about cinema while you're all making cinema. So I can only speak about what I see. And surely in the last few years, we can notice quite a big change that is happening in modes of storytelling, also in the kind of complex characters, particularly women characters that we see on screen. We are also seeing women more centrally performing narrative functions. You know, in film studies, we make this distinction between narrative and spectacle. Narrative is that which moves, and generally the male, the hero, is the one who moves the narrative. The woman is the one who is supposed to arrest the flow of narrative. You know, so she's providing a spectacle for people to watch. So that, I think, is more a function of the fantasy of the male. And we know Laura Mulvey talks about the convergence of the looks, the look of, the camera, the look of the intradiegetic spectators who are watching the female within the story world, and spectators outside, the audience in the theater who is watching the screen. So this has been the most defining aspect of, films, Indian cinema for a long time. But in recent years, I think we are living in, for many of us, life-changing times with regard to cinema. We've had such an interesting array of filmmakers. I'm going to just name a few because I've written about them, and I have registered their films more strongly than others. For instance, Shuchi Talati, who made Girls Will Be Girls. She deals with female sexuality, women's sexuality, young girl, teenage sexuality, but it's not for voyeuristic purposes. So I think those are the kinds of changes. In Kannada, there is Rupa Rao, who made this fantastic film called Gantu Mote. You know, on screen, on film screen, we hardly know what is it that women find attractive or desirable. I feel there is a character, the central character in Rupa Rao's Gantu Mote says, oh, that boy, my classmate, he looks like Salman Khan, no, from a particular angle. Oh, how nice. You know, so what does it mean to look from, look and desire from the point of view of
the woman perspective?
Yeah, so I think these are some very interesting kinds of films that we've been seeing recently. Varsha Bharat made Bad Girls. So you can see again in that film how women have been defined as bad. What is it? I mean, no matter what you do, what you wear, what you don't do, you will still end up being defined as bad. So stories coming from women, women's perspective, women's point of view, and also centrally performing certain roles in the narrative. I just want to make one last point and stop. For instance, you know, even the main, let's say, extra-diegetic storytelling, narrator function. How many of us can, or on the top of our head, recollect Amitabh Bachchan's voice over narrating the, you know, story of Lagan or Kahani or so many films? Can we, you know, even name one woman who is telling a story, female voice, which is telling a story which is not her own? Varsha Bharat's film begins with a voiceover, but she's telling her own story. I think in these little things, I think it makes a difference how, you know, females or what role female characters, narrators play. Forget about the world at large. Within the world of the narrative, what role is assigned to female? I think that is something very interesting. And as someone who watches cinema closely, that is what interests me. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. From the interest in academics to the making, we have Nandini Reddy garu here. Ala Modalaindi and Baby has definitely showcased the women's side of cinema, and we've enjoyed it thoroughly, and that's why it's a hit commercially also. Now please tell me, both emotion and humor is there in your storytelling. So how to keep the narratives grounded yet universally appealing?
Firstly, good afternoon, everybody, to our esteemed panelists and to our audience who are here. Very happy to be here. Coming to the question, how do we keep our stories grounded? How do you connect to the audience, basically? So when I am scripting, I can speak for myself. I look at stories as two ways. From the audience perspective, what is it that they're connecting to comes from, that is me, or I wish that was me. These are the two greatest ways in which an audience can connect. So even if you take something...
Relatability.
Pardon me?
Relatability.
Relatability in these two ways. There are two ways of looking at relatability. If you look at Superman, as a child, I wanted to have that cape and have that ability to fly, to have that power. If you see Harry Potter, every child would have wanted to have that magic wand and do it and delve into that. When heroes go and fight larger than life things, we have a lot of situations we are unable to speak up about in life. So when we see a hero fight, go punch somebody, go hit 100 bad guys, even if you see Balakrishna Garu stopping the train with slapping his thigh, something will connect with you there. There is no reality in that. But human beings don't have to always be real. We can have wishful thinking. You can wish to fly, you can wish to walk upside down. A very regular looking guy can aspire to marry Aishwarya Rai.
Yeah, even women have this dopamine, high dopamine.
There are no limits to those aspirations. So cinema gives wings to that. At the same time, there are stories that reflect your own stories, that mirror your own situations. We'll see a lot of things like in Dhanush Gar cinema, Tiruchitrambalam and all. You'll see friendships. You'll see parental relationships. Things like that. For example, in Ala Modalaindi, so many people came to me and said, I wish I had a mother like Rohini. You know, I wish the parent-son relationship was very unique in that. So things like that. So to find inspirational and aspirational, inspired by my life or something that I aspire for, these are the ways that I look at storytelling primarily. Of course, you can have some other ways of telling also, but this is primarily what guides me, because I feel this is where the audience's emotion gets connected to the story.
Okay, and also connect it commercially too, to make it a big
Yeah, I mean,
success.
see, step one is first you get connected to your story, that you have to tell the story. Two, why should the audience care to watch this film? Three, commercial is many reasons. Timing of release, actors, blah, 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 blah. Now that you can never control, but at least what are the pillars for your conviction for that story is what you have to have.
Lovely, thank you. And I see the success there, that's where it comes from. So Uma garu, tell me, cinematographer or DOP is usually a male, mostly. Now we are very happy to see a lot of women coming there. How does it feel, and how was it, how were you groomed by PC Sriram garu, who's such a big man in the cinematography section, and does that impact come on you?
Hi everyone, this is Uma. So, yeah, starting off with my gurus first, I had a very strong foundation by my gurus. I was very, very fortunate to work with cinematographers who are very broad-minded. Not just to take a woman assistant or an associate, but also to understand that a woman's sensibilities are tomorrow important, because my gurus know that I will become a cinematographer in the future. Right? So they have seen something in me, and so I feel as women, it's very important to be there in every aspect like here. Like this panel is perfect. Starting from producer to director to DOP to editor, music, everything. Because women's sensibilities are very important in every craft, in the 24 crafts. Because, for example, I'm predominantly working with a male director, for such example. Most of the directors whom I sit and discuss with start off with this one line: we want to know a female perspective. We want to know a female sensuality, or what is exactly the sensibilities of a female.
That's very welcoming.
Yeah, so I have an added advantage there. So if, for example, if they are asking their sister or a mother or anyone for that matter, friends, they may not give a perfect, I mean, I will be very open when it comes to my story. It is like my baby, right? So when I'm coordinating with the director and discussing, it is going to be tomorrow, it is my product also. So I'll be even more open than all the other relatives and everyone. So my sensuality as a DOP is very important. I feel I'll contribute to the story more than any male DOP, because I'm grown up in a society where both are equal. So I kind of know, it's all about upbringing, as ma'am said. So it's about what is your upbringing, what is your sensibility to any story for that matter, what kind of people I have met in my life. Okay, so all that helps the story on which I'm going to work on. Also, as cinematography, it is a visual storytelling medium. So end of the day, the script is the most important thing. I have to work for the story of the director, giving my sensibilities so that it is edited tomorrow with another women's sensibilities also here, for example. Because see, I feel industry is not like gender biased. Right now it is not, because different age groups, right? So we also understand that they have been welcoming since last 15, 20 years, I think, most of them.
Yeah, past few decades it's been welcoming, and it's
I
good.
think more than 20 years, right, ma'am, if
Yes,
I'm not wrong.
2 decades, yes.
Yeah. So I feel like, I really feel if my friends or colleagues are going to come in future, I feel it's a very safe place, and it is not a male-dominated society or industry anymore. Anymore. Because everyone is welcoming. It's all about how we behave on sets. How, as a cinematographer or an associate, how I behave on sets. Stay professional. Any profession is the same. It's not just industry. So it is not a male-dominated society or an industry, I feel. And I feel very happy to be in cinema because my sensibilities are respected here. I think more than any industry. Because I don't think, I started off as an IT engineer, software engineer. I don't think a woman's sensibilities would have been more important on coding, right? So I feel here my sensibilities are given more respect than any industry. So I'm very fortunate.
That's unseen and this is very much visible.
Yeah, thank
That's
you.
nice. Nice. Now I have Srujana here, Srujana Garu, as an editor of 13 films. Editing is often described as an invisible art of storytelling. How do you shape up the emotion and rhythm of the scene, keeping in mind the story?
Hello, hi everyone. This is Srujana here. Okay, when we say editing as an invisible art, it's majorly because for us culturally, when we sit 3 hours in a theater, we should forget everything. I think that experience is what editing should bring out. So when you see the film as reality, you feel that you cry when they cry, you laugh when they laugh. When that happens, it's because edit is not overdone. So I think that's how it has come that editing is an invisible art. When you say how do you keep the story with the rhythm and how it keeps flowing, it mainly depends on, for the rhythm of the story, many factors. The rhythm of the camera, rhythm inside the frame, rhythm with how they act physically, their dialogues, and then taking all into account the pace of the film, the shot length, how we decide. So this is the pattern to match the rhythm everywhere and bring it together cohesively in the edit.
Okay, do you have that liberty as an editor to do? Because editor is always like a second director on bench.
Yes, we do have the liberty, absolutely. But every technician, I feel, they should get the vision of the director. So that's when we'll get these discussions that, do you get the liberty and all that. But yes, of course, we get the liberty. And also we should understand at some point what is the vision of the director and to be able to get that through our craft.
Okay, to understand the sensibility and the vision of the director and then produce this.
Yes, I think same set of material, it can vary based on the director. Not the amount of drama or the amount, how you look at a scene. It depends from person to person. It's equally important to understand the director and I feel that will affect your work as a technician.
Okay, lovely, thank you. And Sunitha Garu, I have this question to ask you. We have many films which are produced where it is hero-centric and hero is usually a male. And do you think as on date, if we have a women-centric film where women is the hero, will it do commercially a hit and also be a successful story? Is it possible as on date?
I think historically it's possible. And it's possible more today. And there is more need of it now when there is so many avenues open for you, as a matter of fact. So possibility is always there. Like if you take Telugu cinema, there are some legends like Bhanumati Garu, Savitri Garu, before that Janak Garu, who have done female-centric films.
Correct.
And later Vijay Shanti Garu, after that Anushka, now Samantha. We are now at every point of time, including Nayanthara, they have delivered and continue to deliver. I think audience, honestly, are highly intelligent. They don't look at something, even though it's we who define as hero-centric, they constantly look for a good story. And if the story is something that they like to be part of, and it is something that they find original, authentic, and it's a voice they want to listen, I think automatically it is an audience-centric to start with. It's we that like to define something as hero-centric. I think somewhere we need to reframe our brains because we are so conditioned in our accepting a narrative that we ourselves look at so much of cinema. I mean, now audience have such a big opportunity to look so much of different kind of cinema, like from having to watch only what is available to now having television to then having
world cinema actually,
the world cinema. People are able to see it very clearly that what they are not accepting, they are actually rejecting a story that they can't identify with. So I wouldn't really, I am more of a story-centric person. Is the character and is it the story that is actually something that appeals to me? I think that's how the audience also think. I don't think they all will sit and say, oh, today I want to watch a hero-centric movie. Today I want to watch a women-centric movie. They will be more about, today I want to watch an action film. Today I want to watch a fun comedy film. This is my mood. So this is what I like to kind of enjoy today and entertain today. At the end of the day, we are in entertainment business. I think the centricism of it has to be defined as we go. And I think a lot of people are doing great work in redefining the narrative right now. So. Yes, let's lose the so-called centricism and bring it to the story. Yeah.
Can I add to Sunitha's
Yes,
point?
please.
I think one thing you need to look at is what is the landing ground of your film. Today, if you look at the largest demographic watching the film, it is, I think it's almost 70% male.
Yes.
I'll tell you why that's happened. One, we have lost one chunk of family audiences post-COVID. I think that's a given. I think everybody agrees to that. Now,
Most of us, yes.
yeah. So, one certain convenience has set in. You got used to watching films at home at your convenience. Pricing has gone against families. Women, by and large, don't go alone to watch films. Men do. For women, it's always a plus cost. So, within that spectrum, I think one chunk of the female audience has presently been lost. I'm not saying they're gone forever. Things change, trends change. So now you have to tell whatever story you're telling, which will appeal to this male audience as well, which is your 18 to 25. That is your primary male audience. They are the first people who go on your Friday, Saturday. Sometimes if a film is carrying extraordinary word of mouth, by Sunday evening, families have some lethargy, some families move. If it survives that following week, then you can hope for some more families. Like women I know who would watch at least 2 films a month, now go for 1 film once in 3 months.
True.
So even though ticket prices have gone up, collections are reflecting it. If you look at footfalls, there has been a significant reduction in the number of tickets being sold. So this is a recurrent discussion that has come, and I think multiple factors have contributed to this. So it is good to be aware of this. When you sit, end of the day, if you're trying to make a commercial film, you are selling it, right? So you have to be aware, where are you selling it, for whom are you selling it, why are you selling it. Be cognizant of that and then budget your film and, calculate your risk at that point is what I would say.
Okay. As a young woman, you said that you watched a lot of superhero films. So do you think a superhero film of a woman would really work today?
Why
if you
not?
make it?
I mean, in the Marvel universe itself, there are many female superheroes.
Yes, in Indian Telugu cinema.
Yeah, absolutely. Why not? I mean, we just had Loka coming from Malayalam
That
cinema.
was a big welcome to all of us, yes.
And although it was boosted by several male actors, but kudos to them for coming out with something and pulling out something of such amazing quality, writing, vision. I just see it as a start. I won't be surprised in the next year and a half if we see it. In fact, I think Prashant Verma's film is coming up soon, directed by Pooja Kolluru. So I think there are many such stories waiting to be told within our own folklore space. And I think there will be one whole bunch of those coming out soon.
Thank you.
I think it's an exciting time to kind of look at where we are from where we started. Like, I think 30 years back when I look back and I come, there is only another girl called Nandini and one more person called Sunitha, and people used to talk to each other saying, "Meer Amman Kalsara, did you meet that girl? Did you meet this girl?" This is just us, and now it's so beautiful to see the expansion of this spectrum of, women coming in every field. As a matter of fact, when we made Oh Baby, Nandini was particular that every craft should have a female, and I think that is something we achieved with Oh Baby. We are so proud of that, and I think somehow I try to carry that trend, and I'm sure she tried to too. So from being, we'll just keep one girl so that she can help with the costumes. Now people are changing their mindset about it, and I think we should be very welcoming to that. I mean, as a matter of fact, even though we have this perception that, as she said, that there is a male-dominant society, kind of industry. No, it's not. Honestly, if you can go in and go inside, there is an opportunity. And I think it's that going in, that first step is the hardest part, because somehow you have to break through that wall. And the wall sometimes is very invisible there, but it's more about you. About
and
what
a female superhero film will cost far less than a male film, because straight away remuneration itself is what, I don't know,
there itself we can
10%.
cross off, 60% we can cross off,
Kadu,
yes.
actor remuneration, lead actor remuneration only,
It will come
is some
down.
10% of a comparable male stars kada, meeku akkade saving undi. So yeah, why
So,
not?
so money and women. That's nice. That's nice. So Uma garu, I'd like to ask you this: that okay, female gaze. How is a female gaze in doing a film as a cinematographer? Because the kind of effort you put in for a film is much more. People think that cinematographer will just walk in and will say, okay, ready, shoot. But I would want you to tell me that how much time does it take to make a film as a cinematographer from, the work which is done before and the time button. How much time does it take? 6 months, 3 months, and then you come on sets?
Yeah, it depends on story to story. But the more the DP is involved in the pre-production stage from the location recce, it's far better. And see, as I said, sensibilities and it's చాలా important. So, ఇప్పుడు once we have a discussion with the director as a cinematographer, and see, for example, a film has 60 scenes. There will be, in the whole film, maybe there are 10 to 15 most important scenes for the director or for any person here. Okay, for example, editor kaina sare, like DP kaina sare, there will be 10 shots where now full potential ni chupiche scenes untai. So dantlo, like, we have to discuss with the director first, like what are the most important scenes. We'll be able to understand. Maximum the DP will be able to figure it out herself or himself, but the discussion with the director is the most important. So once the discussion is over, accordingly we do the location recce. So during the location recce, we'll be able to figure out what kind of locations are suitable for the story, or what kind of color palette we are going to work on, what kind of costumes or what kind of color palette is fully going to be there throughout the film. So everything, look and feel of the film is decided before the movie starts, the production starts. So that's called pre-production, right? So pre-production nunche mem untam kabatti, so journey anedi every story ki it will be very different depending on how much pre-production time the director needs for the film, and depending on so many factors. So as a DP ఒకసారి లోపలికి ఒక స్టోరీలో డిస్కషన్ కూర్చున్నప్పుడు మినిమం 6 months అయితే మా జర్నీ ఉంటుంది. ఐ థింక్ అగ్రీ చేస్తారు. సో బికాజ్ ప్రీ-ప్రొడక్షన్లో ఉంటాం, ప్రొడక్షన్లో ఉంటాం, దట్ ఇస్ షూట్ టైం. ఐ థింక్ ఎర్లీగా డైరెక్టర్ ప్రొడక్షన్ అందరూ లేస్తారు, కానీ DP విల్ బి ద మోస్ట్ ఎర్లియస్ట్ రైజ్ అనుకుంటాం, అండ్ ద లాస్ట్ పర్సన్ టు లీవ్ ద సెట్. So it is like production time lo, it is like high time. There will be so many people working for the DP on set, including lightmen, camera assistants, my own assistants. Ante ma team ekkuga unnattu anipistudi, because visually we have to put in so much efforts. Production is the most crucial part of a DP. So once the production is over, again the post production, after editing is done. So it is like more than 6 months aithe surely journey untadi. Ippudu nenu oka project meeda work chestunnanu, so that is taking even more actually time. And more the time, better the result. More the discussion with the director, the lesser pressure on set for production. And it will decrease so much cost in terms of producer ki mana cost cutting chala cheyochu pre-production manchiga chesinappudu. So I believe the more discussion DP has with the director, more better the visual or the production goes smoothly. If the discussion is not done, hurry up chesi sudden ante fast ga pre-production chesi let's go on sets and anukunte matram, DP and the director are the people who are going to suffer the most. And that pressure will be put by the producer on director first, and next director వచ్చి DP తోనే అడుగుతారు. Okay, so the result is pre-production సరిగ్గా చేయకపోతే అది షార్ట్ ఫిల్మ్ అయినా సరే సరిగ్గా జరగదు. Even short
you need
films
to
are
take
not done
time for
free,
that.
right? Anything, web series aina, movie aina sare, like pre-production time is the most crucial time. As a DP, నేను ఎంత efforts అక్కడ పెడుతున్నానో దాంట్లోనే producer will decide what kind of DP he or she is on sets ఎల్లకముందు. So that's the most crucial part. So the more the time for the pre-production, more the better. Minimum 6 months పైనే అవుతుంది
లవ్లీ.
DP వర్క్ అయితే.
గాయత్రి గారు మీకు ఒక విషయం చెప్తాను.
చెప్పండి.
విమెన్ టెక్నీషియన్స్కి ఇండస్ట్రీలో every woman technician will work 10 times harder than a male technician. I'll tell you why.
Oh, kudos.
I'll tell you why.
You can clap louder.
అంటే నేను ఎందుకు కూడా చెప్తున్నాను మీకు. ఇట్స్ సింపుల్ లాజిక్. వాళ్ళకి ఒక 100 రెట్లు కష్టపడితేనే ఆపర్చునిటీ దొరికిందండి. యూ డోంట్ గెట్ ఇట్ యాజ్ ఈజీ యాజ్ అ మేల్ టెక్నీషియన్. ఆస్క్ దెమ్ హౌ హార్డ్ ఇట్ ఇస్ ఫర్ దెమ్ టు ఫైండ్ అ జాబ్.
Very, 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 very hard. Yeah. It's infinite number of very hards.
Behind one project there will be 100 rejections. Male technicians also face those rejections, but you can multiply that into 10x or 100x for female technicians.
It's easy to put a blame on a female technician. Why? Because
it's like this. I'll explain it to you. Maybe about 15 years back, when female pilots started flying, I distinctly remember passengers seeing the female pilot and saying, "Arey, isko chalana aata hai kya?"
exactly.
Because the notion is, okay, women driver, any car on the road, horrible driving, must be a woman driver. Okay? So there are certain notions like this. So those poor female pilots had to land several hundreds of aircrafts before.
Yeah, they have to earn a lot of thousands of miles before they get into the main commercial aircraft.
Before this, women surgeons had to face that. Even gynecological surgeons, you can ask them. Okay? So every time you have to prove it till that happens. Before I became a director, women director means what did they say? Lady oriented subject. Whatever that is. Lady oriented subject cheyandi lekunte art cinema teestara. This was the notion.
I faced that even till today. Entandi meer lady oriented subjects se teestara. I have done equal male oriented subjects with heroes like Nitin, Simbus and Naga Chaitanya, but they don't look at that. They only look at what is female.
What is a lady oriented subject? And only women untara సినిమాలో.
Also
మగాళ్ళ సినిమాలో అందరు ఆడాలని తీసేయండి బయటికి. పనిచేస్తా సినిమా పనిచేయదు కదా. No, the idea is that if a woman director or a woman writer cracks a joke, that men don't get it, which is nonsense. I mean, don't we all have men and women in our life? Men crack a joke, we laugh. We crack a joke, they laugh. We all speak each other's language.
Absolutely.
So it's just a notion, and so until proven wrong theories.
Right.
సో ఎవరో ఒక రోజు సమ్ ఫీమేల్ డైరెక్టర్ విల్ కమ్ క్రాక్ ద 100 crores అయితే అయిపోయింది. దే విల్ క్రాక్ సమ్ 1000 crore మార్క్ or something, then that will be done. So it's only until proven that these theories will hold. So till then for women it is a question of survival
అంటారా?
నాకు ఓబేబీ చేస్తున్నప్పుడు సమాంత ఒక మాట చెప్పింది, నేను ఇప్పటికీ మర్చిపోలేదు. She said, always remember this. You will have to work twice as hard for half the credit.
Absolutely.
So, any other colleague of mine of similar level of talent will be able to make it easier. And this I am telling you, gunshot. There is no change in this. I am telling you this with 20 years experience in this industry. With a similar level of talent, all things being equal, a male colleague will find it easier to land a film compared to me. That is it. And I have to prove myself every Friday, more Fridays than others, to be at an equal level.
Agreed.
And that is what it is. I'm not complaining about it.
Yes.
I'm not complaining about it. I'm telling you what the reality is.
The facts.
Yeah, the facts. And I don't want women to complain about, what is it? It is now. You want to do, you do. You don't want to do, don't do.
That's it.
Now, this is how it is.
Right. Perfect.
When I wanted to play cricket 20 years back, there was no future for women's cricket.
today.
So I made a choice.
We have won.
Now there is. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So every time you make a choice. అంటే నేను ఇండస్ట్రీ జాయిన్ అయినప్పుడు కూడా నాకు ఇది ఇంత ఊబే అని తెలియదు అప్పుడు. మేబీ ఐ వుంట్ హ్యావ్ జాయిన్. ఐ డోంట్ నో.
చాలా
ఇట్స్ bravado in hindsight, తెలియకుండా. But once I made a choice, then I made a commitment. So what I'm saying is, every single one of them who has made a choice to be in a career, they know what the battle is. But they love their work, so they are here, and they will struggle harder. Maybe in 20 years things will change or they won't, I don't know. But yeah, that's what it is.
I think you're all those pioneers who have made the change, and that's why we are all here.
ఏమో తెలియదండి పయనియర్స్ కాదో తెలియదు కానీ ఏదో మేము బతికేస్తున్నాం
వచ్చేసాం, కొట్టుకుంటూ వచ్చేసాం.
Survival of the
ఏదో
finest.
చేంజ్ చేయాలని మార్చేయాలని ఎవరు లేరండి, అందరు సర్వైవల్ రేస్ లోనే ఉన్నారు.
Honestly, yeah.
And today I would say even male directors are in a survival race. The whole industry is like we just got our head above water like that and breathing. So everybody is in that survival race only. So whether we are pioneers, whether we've hit some glass ceiling, history will judge us 20 years down the line. But right now the focus is not that.
Yeah.
Nobody is thinking of making history. I am thinking of the coming up Friday.
Current.
That's it.
Current.
Also, I would like to add up to one more thing. Basically, like directors to కూర్చొని discussion చేసినప్పుడు, I am okay to hear any kind of story, any kind of scene. Let it be, example, love making scene aina. If it is required to the story, and the director has to narrate, and I am happy to hear. They feel uncomfortable, and the first thing I say is, please forget the gender part. It's about the brain. I work for your story or not. It's my brain. Forget the part. See, I'm born like this. I can't help it. I'll try next janma, maybe male. Telidu naku.
No.
Okay. So it's about the brain. I can't shave my head for you and come and sit, right? Every time I can't prove you. I'm not a female. No, it's not that. When I'm discussing a script, I would love my director friends and colleagues in future to not feel any anxiety or shyness or anything, and please tell me any story which they feel a women's sensibility is required. Okay, so first judgment first పోవాలి అసలు ఫస్ట్ ఒక women DP కంటే ఈ స్టోరీ చెప్పలేను. No, story is a story for
slowly.
me. I would maybe they will
I
be
think
different
slowly they'll get
perspective.
there, the men will
Maybe
get
even
there.
a love making scene I can shoot it even more sensibly than a male, maybe. Give me a chance, no? I'll show you. So it is that. It's not about, అంటే ఓపెన్గా డిస్కస్ చేస్తేనే ఒక ఎనీ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ స్టోరీ ఫర్ దట్ మ్యాటర్, let it be a child abuse story, let it be a rape story, or any kind of story. For me, story is a story. Correct. For a director, it's a story. Similarly, for the DPs also, వాళ్ళ విషన్ని విజువల్గా తీసుకురావడానికి మేము ఎంత కష్టపడతామో, సేమ్ ఎఫర్ట్స్ వాళ్ళు రైటింగ్ అప్పుడు ఎంత ఎఫర్ట్స్ పెడతారో అసలు డీపీ కూడా నేను అంతే ఎఫర్ట్స్ పెడతాను. సో ఇట్స్ ద బ్రెయిన్.
Absolutely agreed. Ma'am, I would like to ask you something. Why is it that women are often showed as sex symbol? Person who's having male as an entertainer, or having flawed humor over women. Why is this so popular in Indian cinema? Is this what you teach, or you teach something else and they come up with something else? Everywhere. I won't say just Indian cinema, global cinema.
Well, we exist in a gendered and a very sexist world. We would like to paint a picture that, things are different in certain domains. I'm in academia. I can say, oh, look how academia is so equal. There are men and women, and we all do the same kind of things. Our remuneration is the same, and so on. But that's not true. We live very much in a very, very gendered and sexist world. I'm sure that this is the case even with the film industry, where certain roles have been assigned as, okay, these are things that men can do, as all of you have said, and it's only now that you are slowly breaking
So they
the
have basically
bastion.
taken women for granted?
Not really. I think it's not about taking women for granted. It is about showing them their place. It is about saying, this is where you belong. This is what you are good for, right? So you are good to be a sex symbol, or you are good for titillation, which is fine. I mean, if everyone seems to work within a culture where women accept those roles for themselves, that are given to them, it's perfectly fine. But I think today, many of us feel uncomfortable, and that's where I want to bring in a different aspect. I mean, we haven't touched upon this aspect in our discussion so far. I think the audience today is changing. And the demands of the audience, one with OTT platforms, the exposure to different kinds of cinema, but also, I mean, cinema earlier was a one-time experience. You went to the theater and you watched films and then came away. Today, you can even 10 years later watch the film. It's like reading a book, right? It's there on YouTube. You can watch the film, go back and rewatch it. So I think in today's context, the function of cinema is changing in a way in which we have not fully grasped it. And the audience for us is not only the audience which will watch it this week, this Friday, when your film releases. It could also be watching your film 10 years down the line. So how does a film, because I watch films of the 30s and 40s for my research purposes, how does your film respond to the questions, that are immediate? Many films we feel are, of times past. I mean, in terms of their sensibility, in terms of the way they seem to be constructing a world which is fast changing. So our value system is changing, the needs and demands, desires of the young people are changing, their access to technology, what they are doing with it is changing. If our cinema does not respond to that, I think we will get you'll get completely left behind. So a certain connect with the audience in terms of promoting a certain culture of discussion on cinema. I was talking to you a little while earlier about this aspect. I mean, as audience, we are used to sticking a mic and asking people coming out of the theater, how's the film? And they'll say, super, or family film. I mean, I think cinema is serious business. It shapes cultures, it shapes our lives. So what we need is a larger culture of discussion on cinema. I don't think many films, film industries promote, because, with male-centered films and male heroes, with the fan clubs, there is very little space for a culture of discussion. I think, when you look at the Malayalam film industry, we all applaud the kind of directors and the kind of people who are making films in Malayalam. We are not giving enough credit to the audience which is shaping the kind of fantastic narratives that is coming out of there. I can't say this about many film industries, that there is this, culture of discussion, serious discussion around cinema that is happening. I think as long as we don't listen and promote a discourse around cinema, we'll continue with our ways of filmmaking because we think, oh, this is what works. This is our audience. This is what they want. I mean, without even, because there is no feedback, there is no talk back, there is no one, talking against what you're saying even here right now. So we think, well, what we are doing is great, right? So sex, why women perform as sex symbols, we think that's what the audience wants. But we don't know that it's an audience that is shaped by so many other discourses in the current day context, and I don't think that's what they want. I'll stop now.
Yeah, I don't think any women want to do that unless the story is asked for. I think
if
I would
you
like
just ask one pretty girl to walk past the lobby of Novotel, you'll get your answer.
Yes.
See how many heads will turn.
Yeah.
You send one good-looking man there, see how many heads will turn.
Absolutely.
So నేను ఏమంటున్నానంటే ఇటు తిప్పి అటు తిప్పి సినిమాని కొడతారు. Look at everything, anything in society. Look at what happens on a street. Look at advertising. Look at people-to-people interaction. Go to a college. Go to a workspace.
It's there everywhere.
It's there. This is what, see, what I keep saying is cinema and society are mirrors of each other.
Correct.
They say, cinema paadu chestundi audiences nani. I don't believe that. Then there are a lot of good stories, good things that come. You think that changes cinema? No, definitely there is an influence. But
Correct.
again, it is like an osmosis happening from both ends. From here to there and there to here.
Yes.
So at the same time, I would like filmmakers to be responsible. But please don't dump the entire burden of change on cinema. That's not what it's supposed to be. And certainly commercial cinema has never said, oh, we are trying to change or shape the world. They are trying to run a business with some aesthetic, with some storytelling values, things that they have. That's it. That's all they are proposing to do. We don't want to damage society, nor do we want to reform society. We are trying to tell some stories which resonate. Where are those stories coming from again? They are coming back from society. So cinema reflects the changes that are happening in society. So let's not say, just bash one side of
just to
One
kind of
question
talk
I would
about
like to ask the editor. They say that only 10% of technicians are women as on date in the cinema, especially here, as per the research I did. So, is it that you have to work double hard to prove yourself each time?
Okay, this is a continuation of the conversation that we just had. I would like to add little information. As an editor, the conversations that I face, so the questions come up when we are talking about sex symbol or item songs or stuff like that. Because I'm a woman, people question my credibility that can you edit an item song? Can you edit a fight sequence? Can you bring that mass appeal? Or maybe you're good with drama, family sequences. Why not this? Or these are smoother cuts. What about fast cuts? Suspense, thrillers. Can you work on that? So, so this is part of, and this comes only from the prejudice. It's not that you give me a film. If I can't prove, you question my eligibility as a person. Maybe I'll be failed as a person, but not as a woman. So it's very different. So
Well said, well said.
Also,
Well said.
people say like women can't do action, can't shoot action films. Like they see, I can run with my camera on my shoulder. Okay, I have that capability. Okay, so how can you judge that I will only like love stories or anything of that sort? I love action movies. I love car racing kind of films. I love Kill Bill series. They are my favorite. So, women like men, like every movie genre, okay, don't just try to box us into one thing. I think it's a loss for the audience, not for us. Because I'll be able to shoot anything as a DP. If the story requires, I'll do it. Similarly with the editor. Similarly with anyone, any technician of that matter. Just that if you're given more freedom, right, we won't box ourselves into something like, ఇదే చేస్తాం అదే చేస్తాం మేము ఎప్పుడు చెప్పం ఒక స్టోరీకి ఏం కావాలో అది చేస్తామని టెక్నీషియన్స్ చాలా రెడీగా ఉంటారు చేసే స్కోప్ డైరెక్టర్ కూడా ఇస్తారు ప్రొడ్యూసర్ కూడా ఇస్తారు సో ఆడియన్స్ ఆర్ ఆల్సో రెడీ టు యాక్సెప్ట్ సో విమెన్ క్యాన్ డూ యాక్షన్ మూవీస్ ఐ కెన్ రన్ విత్ మై కెమెరా ఆన్ మై షోల్డర్ సో సిమిలర్లీ ఎడిటర్ కెన్ ఆల్సో ఎడిట్ అన్ యాక్షన్ ఫిల్మ్ when director as a female can direct an action film, why can't we also do it?
Absolutely.
So there's no question only.
Perfect. One question I have as an actor, being an actor myself, is that why is it that most of the films are all centric to 2 or 3 people and all the other characters are vanished these days? Especially when we watch films, it's only about the main character and the other characters are any kind of cinema for that matter, and it is seen mostly that OTT.
Vinda, she's asking me why films are only 2-3 characters should enduku revolve avudhu. I said, you're watching, what kind of films are you watching? I said, it doesn't happen
and
in Mohan's films.
And we feel that OTT is opened up venues for many other actors who really want to contribute to the world of acting. What do you have to say about it? Sunitha garu. OTT is contributing for a lot of actors to show up their talent as an actor, other than the big, large Indian cinema. What do you have to comment on that?
oh
I said OTT is contributing to a lot of actors, irrespective of the gender, to contribute. Ani is what actors we feel. So what do you think? More than cinema, OTT is contributing is what we feel. OTT... is right?
Yeah, it's correct.
Ante, see, these are all interlinked. Don't say OTT is giving, cinema is not. They're all interlinked. Cinema, OTT ki cinema ki reach avanol kontamandi via OTT they reach cinema. Some people are getting better roles from cinema in OTT. So that ట్రాన్సాక్షన్ ఇస్ హ్యాపెనింగ్ అండ్
ఫార్మాట్ చాలా డిఫరెంట్ కదా
Yeah.
గాయత్రి ఫార్మాట్ ఏమవుద్దంటే ఇక్కడ నువ్వు 2 గంటల్లో సినిమా చెప్పాలా అక్కడ నీకు యూ హ్యావ్ సో మెనీ మినిట్స్ యూ 4 hours ఈవెన్ 5 hours సమ్టైమ్స్ దట్ గెట్ ఎక్స్టెండెడ్ సో న్యాచురల్గా ఒక కథ మనం చెప్పాలనుకున్న దాన్ని ఎక్స్పాండ్ చేయగలం అక్కడ ఒక మెయిన్ ప్లాట్లో కథ చెప్తుంటే సబ్ ప్లాట్లు మామూలు సినిమాల్లో ఒక 3-4 ఉంటాయి అంతే అదే ఓటీటీలో నీకు సబ్ ప్లాట్లు ఎన్నో ఉంటాయి క్యారెక్టర్ ఆర్క్స్ ఎన్నో ఉంటాయి, ఈవెన్ 7-8 ఉంటాయి. న్యాచురల్గా దానికి తగ్గట్టుగా ఇట్ చేంజెస్. సో వెన్ ద ఫార్మాట్ ఈస్ డిఫరెంట్, ఆటోమేటికలీ ద ఆపర్చునిటీ టు టెల్ ద స్టోరీ అండ్ ఏ లార్జర్ స్టోరీ gets the opportunity. So yes, actors are going to really swell up there. They are going to have a grand scale of opportunity, undoubtedly. But at the same time, OTT has its parameters. It will have its business limitations. But the important part of it, as I said, you are at a forefront of something wonderful. So we should all take advantage of it.
Okay. I think we have much more to discuss, but then for today, we end it here.
I just want to say something before you end it. Just
please,
to
Sunitha
kind of an observation as I was talking to everybody. It's great to be part of something like this. It's wonderful, and to be with my dear, friend for almost 3 decades now. What I want to say is that, see, I get a lot of families, parents, fathers, mothers that bring their daughters and they say that my daughter want to get into the movie field. And is it a safe place? Can she succeed? Do you think, like this, she should choose this as a career? First thing I want to say is that it is that individual's attitude. It is that individual's choice to be there. Unfortunately, people see the success that is blown in out of proportions out there. They don't see the hard work of the people that are behind doing all that they are doing.
Yes.
People see they are great actors and everything, they are going to get paid, oh, they are in this advertisement, they are in this movie. But do you know their day begins at 4 o'clock in the morning? And sometimes it goes on, and the hard work that goes behind it. And it's the technicians, the effort, their life is that. If you look at our lives, my mom shouts at me because all I talk is cinema, all I think is cinema. Even when you go in the car, we don't have a life other than that.
Absolutely.
And as a DOP, all she's looking at the world is through framing. As a storyteller, she's looking the stories when she looks at your faces. So please focus on the attitude. All of us need to change our attitude for this to work.
Also, ma'am, my mother is here. She is the first person to say okay for me to get into movies. Even my dad.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I give a big round of applause for the lady over there?
Yeah,
I'm
she's
so
my
glad.
mom.
Can you please stand up?
I'm very, very proud of her. And she's a great fan of Nandini Reddy, ma'am. Because seriously, ma'am, she's a great fan of your work and you. She always says, go up to that level. Ante, see, again, a woman as a mom, she has told yes for me to get into movies. My dad was spectacle, true. But she pushed it. It's always the women who will support another woman.